Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Thick Chick 33. This is a special episode because it is not a gaming episode. I know this is the gaming channel, but I know I've also mentioned a couple times that I've been renovating my house, kind of doing like makeovers room by room, and I finally finished my master bedroom and I wanted to show you. So if you don't want to watch, that's totally fine, but otherwise, strap in. I'm going to show you exactly what the process was and what it looks like now because I'm so excited about it. And don't worry, my next video will be back to gaming. So about 3 months ago, I came up with this sketch of what I wanted my master bedroom to look like, and it eventually evolved into this sketch, which was a bit more accurate. And that's where we started. I knew that I wanted something really dramatic for my room, but it is a small bedroom, and so I knew I couldn't fit any more furniture in there than we already had. I also couldn't buy like a huge bed frame because the head frame and the footboard would have taken up way too much space in my already cramped room. So what we did was we actually used wallpaper and trim that we bought at Lowe's. The wallpaper came from Target, but it is Valspar, which is the same paint brand that they sell at Lowe's. So this is what it looks like now, and I couldn't be more excited. What we did was we kind of sketched it out on the walls, and we measured everything and figured out where it was going to go. And fortunately, I had my father-in-law to help me because he is like really great at building things and measuring things and keeping track of how we can make them. I just had the idea, and he actually made it happen. So it was all him. Basically, I went to El Paso for a weekend. When I came back, he had already framed out the trim around the headboard, and we'd done the measurements beforehand, but he managed to get it up on there. That's what it looked like when I came back from El Paso. And what we decided to do was go ahead and put the trim up, and then we're going to paint it and put the wallpaper over it, and then cut the wallpaper to fit inside the trim. Now, when I say that he really made it happen, I mean it. Like, I did help out. I was like his assistant the entire time, but he was the one who basically did everything. Like, I have no idea how to rewire things, or I didn't have any idea how to put wallpaper up either, to tell you the truth. But he wasn't too experienced at that either, so we learned together. He actually rewired so that we could have individual bedside lamps on either side of the bed. Basically, my biggest job was to find things that would work for my design. Like those lamps, I got them off Amazon. And I had to obviously pay for everything, but he was the one who decided like where things went and how we were going to get it there. So this is a floating nightstand. That is so cool. I love it. I got those off Amazon. They were $100 each. And I love them because they make it look like you have more space in your room because they don't block up the floor. And also we have our cool little outlets underneath our floating nightstand, so I can plug in like my Alexa and my phone charger. Now what I really liked about this wallpaper, you can see that flaw right there. That's actually just the wall behind it. It shows the texture of the wall behind it, so it kind of looks like paint, which is really neat. So this trim was white when we bought it. We painted over it. We painted it black. And then the wallpaper, we actually put it inside the trim. And then we had overlapped a bit, so we ended up cutting it down with a box cutter so that it would fit inside. And you can see that this particular wallpaper was not wide enough. You can see the lines if you get really close. We ended up having to do, I think, 4 different strips all the way down for the headboard itself. And you can see there where we didn't trim it. In the next picture, that's after we trimmed it. And the best thing about this whole design, as I said before, is that it doesn't take up any space in my room. Like, it was just wall space. So I didn't lose any inches on my floor or in my room, so it doesn't actually make my room look any smaller. It's not bulky. What I also like is that we managed to make these lamps even. There's identical lamps hanging on either side of the bed, but my ceiling is slanted. You can see over there, it's much lower. And then that's monkey side of the bed. On my side, the ceiling is higher. So I had to actually go online and look for lamps that came with adjustable, like, I don't know what you would call that, adjustable cords, because I wanted them to hang at the same level, but they were hanging from different points on the ceiling. On my side of the bed, the ceiling is almost a foot higher. So that was pretty cool that I was able to do that. Thank you, Amazon. Another thing I really like is that we have our own individual light switches, so I can turn mine on and off as I want to, and Monkey can turn his on and off as he wants to. So that brings me to this. I've got this amazing piece of art here hanging up, and I'm going to link the artist in the description down below. This is from Abstract Thoughts. My friend Jessica, she is an amazing artist, and she's in North Carolina, and she painted this across the country and mailed it to me, and it absolutely matches my bedroom perfectly. I couldn't be happier with it. I think it brings the whole room together. So definitely check out her website below. Now, something else that we did, besides all this wallpapering and trim and artwork and stuff, was we painted the walls. This is called Ultra White. You can see the difference there. The walls used to be kind of an ugly cream color. That was the color it was when we actually bought the house. But now it's Ultra White from Valspar. And we painted the trim tricorn black. And you can see the baseboards down below were painted that color as well. It's amazing. My father-in-law actually didn't paint it, like tape anything off. He just painted it freehand, and it looks absolutely perfect. I can't believe he did such a good job, but I guess he's been painting houses his whole life, so it wasn't really that big a deal to him. My wall-mounted TV is one of my favorite things about the room. My husband and my father-in-law installed it themselves. They are incredible. They, measured, marked out the wall. They did everything themselves. I'm so impressed. They actually cut out a piece of the wall here. This is amazing. They got this kit that you can install. First of all, the TV up on a swivel so I can turn it either way depending on where I am in the room. But then they also got this kit where it hides all the cords. So they cut out a piece of the wall. They actually had to hammer off a piece of a stud that was in here. And then they inserted this little box here, and you plug the TV into that box. There's a cord that runs down behind the wall and comes out down here where there's another box. It goes behind my dresser. So the outlet's over there. The box is over here. We connect the two, and you can't see any cords. It's basically just floating. And it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. Now, next up is my dresser, which is actually one of the only things in the room I did all by myself. This is an IKEA Malm dresser. You can see what it looked like before. And I also had 2 IKEA Malm nightstands that we used to have on either side of our bed. And I decided to put them together to make kind of a weird-shaped dresser altogether. And so I primered it with some Valspar stuff I got from Lowe's. And then I painted over it in this kind of dark gray blue because I wanted a warmer blue for our room. And it took about 2 coats of the blue. On the nightstands, I think I had to do 3 coats. But then after that, I decided I was going to get fun with it. And I put some wallpaper on the bottom drawers and then some vinyl decals on the other drawers. And it kind of tied it all together with the room. And I think it adds a lot of warmth to the room. I think it looks fantastic. I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. I also did these book trees all by myself. It was really cool. They came from Amazon. They looked just like this when they arrived. Well, when they arrived, they're in pieces, but we put them together. My father-in-law helped me with that. Then I primered them and I painted them. Would have liked to use spray paint, but I had leftovers from the stuff I'd used on the dresser and the trim, so I went ahead and just used that instead. And they turned out really fantastic. I like that they have black, so they kind of tie in the dresser to the trim and all the other black things in the room. Also, you can't really see it here, but I'll put in a picture. Underneath the glass is Van Gogh's Starry Night, which is what I based my color scheme around for this room. Love the way it looks. It's kind of a little secret painting underneath there. And I have my built-in. Now, I almost tore this out. My father-in-law and I were going to tear it out, but my husband said no because he didn't know what kind of flooring was underneath there, and he kind of likes having it. But we did redo it. We painted it black to match the nightstands and the trim. This is what it looked like before. After we painted it black, but before we had painted the doors ultra white and put on new hardware. I really, really love the hardware. It's much more modern. I was able to put some stuff on here that just like some pretty decorations. Tons of joy boxes that people have given me over the years. This hardware, it's gold, but I got it anyway, even though it's not brass, because I thought it looked so cool. We did get brass for the new hardware that went on, like the hinges that went on the sides. That looks really good because the other ones have been painted over so much. We got matching polished brass hinges for all the doors. And also we got matching polished brass doorknobs for all the doors. So everything matches now. And that was such a little thing. Like, you wouldn't think you needed all new hardware for everything, but we really did. After we painted, we realized how old it looked. The polka dot wall was also something I did myself. I knew this wall looked a little bare, and I didn't know what I really wanted on it, but I went online and was looking for some decals. I thought maybe like a branch decal or something to go over, but I found these really cool gold vinyl polka dots. And I went ahead and put them on there in kind of a fading pattern, like an ombre, and I like the way it looks. What's also cool is that after I did this wall, I had enough left over for my furniture, because I hadn't originally planned to put those polka dots on the furniture, but I was able to because I had enough left over, and it really ties the wall to the dresser. I mean, I just think everything matches now. I also bought this awesome geometric design mirror on Amazon, and I love it. I mean, that's all there is to it. I love that mirror. I think that's quite possibly my favorite thing in the room. You also can't see it well in this lighting, but I did paint our fireplace. There's a picture so that you can see it a little better. I used the Valspar wallpaper on the surround for it, and then I painted it blue, and I put some of the vinyl decals on the inside to make it match the other furniture. So over here we have my window. On either side I have some poster prints of some of the books I wrote. This isn't a good shot either, but this was just a plain window, and I wanted the curtains to go floor to ceiling. So that it would make my ceilings look a little taller and a little more dramatic. You can see the window itself is kind of small, kind of boring looking. I didn't feel like it let in a lot of light, so I didn't think it was really necessary to have it uncovered anymore. So I just went for this super dramatic curtain, which is actually 4 curtains combined. And the last thing that we redid was this fan. So my old fan was just kind of boring, kind of white, kind of old-fashioned. It wasn't terrible. It worked great. But I got this fan at Lowe's for like $52. I mean, you really can't beat that. 50 bucks. I'm happy to go with it. So anyway, that's it. That's my whole bedroom redesign. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad it's done. I may be uploading more in the future, but not a lot. This is still a gaming channel. I really hope you love this redesign as much as I do, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.